yoga and martial arts. If you're not into the style of meditation that I do, then I recommend that you just mute it, but do sit for a few minutes. And 30 to 40 minutes of sitting still is really good for you, heart and soul and body. And then if you get stiff, we're about to do the yoga. So you'll loosen right up. After the yoga is a 30-minute workout, martial arts exercises focused on the techniques of the week for the group practice that we're doing. So the techniques of the week are related to this high-intensity interval training format for the martial arts solo bodyweight workout we're doing, which is 30 seconds to a minute of full body, and then same time of legs, upper body, core. So that takes about 2 to 4 minutes for each set, and then we start over, full body, legs, upper body, core, up to 32 minutes or so. So I'll clean up the room. I start a little bit early, so for those of you who are tuning in to join the practice, you have enough time to fill up your water bottle and get your pre-workout drink ready, right? I recommend some creatine and caffeine, and then after the workout, drink a protein shake, eat some fruits and veggies, carbs and plant-based proteins with minimum carbs, right? This is the kind of format we're following, right? Full body exercises, legs, upper body, core, and today we're going to be doing a takedown exercise. So we're going to start with some sprawls for the full body, and we're going to do takedown shots and standing leg lock entries. We're also going to do break falls for the full body. When we get to the upper body, we're going to do a push up to a knee cut guard pass, and we're also going to do push-ups from a leg lock position or from seated butterfly, right? Or seated lotus pose. And then for the core, we're going to be doing Russian twist and basically boat pose exercises, right? For the core, because these are related to the techniques of the week, which is the heel hook. And we're also going to do a hip bump sit-up to a Kimura or guillotine grip for the core exercises. So there's only about 8 exercises, and we're going to do them over and over again. And again, that's a full body, legs, upper body, core, over and over. And so the first set is going to be like sprawling from standing for the full body. And then for the legs, we'll do takedown shot or lunges or a leg lock entry from standing. And then for upper body, we're going to do a push-up to a knee cut pass, right? Or pushing up from the boat position, which is also like a 50-50 leg lock position, or doing push-ups from the inside triangle position so that you can maneuver when you're in a leg lock position with your arms. And for the core, we're going to be doing sit-ups with the legs up and passing the leg over the head, right? When you're doing leg locks, sometimes you need to switch sides. And we're also going to be doing a hip bump sit-up, which also leads to a Kimura grip or a guillotine grip. But before we do all of that, we're going to do meditation on the Buddha. If you don't like this style of meditation, I still encourage you to join. You can just mute the video, play some chill lo-fi music or whatever, but it's important to sit still while awake with a focused, relaxed mind for 30 to 40 minutes every day. And then we're going to do 30 minutes of Ashtanga Yoga, the short version of the primary series. So I'll shut up and put on some philosophical chill step music and clean up the room, and then we will sit down and begin the meditation on the Buddha. And this is mostly like Alan Watts remixed. Along with some other philosophy speeches. This one's pretty relevant. I play this almost every day. Put this here so you can hear it. Again, get your pre-workout, caffeine, and water ready. I gotta fill my water bottle.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. So long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men, with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery. Fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. World that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age of security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill their promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy,
Okay, so we're going to jump into the meditation on the Buddha. And I like this one because it's full of detailed visualizations, exercises, and that helps focus my mind and keep it busy so it doesn't wander. So I encourage you to practice this one. If you're not into it, then, just mute the video and sit and meditate. Even if you just listen to Alan Watts for 30 minutes. And then after this, we'll do the yoga and then the martial arts.
We do the practices with this aspiration to be of benefit to beings, not to harm them, to benefit them. And in our understanding, the best benefit is to actually, for beings to be liberated from cyclic existence. And we aim to become Buddhas in order to help beings to be free in this way. So generate those thoughts in your own way. So Venerable Children has laid out this sadhana for us, helping us to generate these various mind states. And she starts by having us think about all of our potential, all the kind of positive qualities that we can develop. Infinite love, compassion, wisdom, skillful means. So imagine what it would feel like to be those qualities. Just let yourself be love, be wisdom, try to feel the expansiveness and peace in your heart, the wisdom that it takes to have this kind heart, to be unencumbered in any way, vast and expansive. You can take in everything that's happening in this world, reaching out to every being, human and otherwise, to benefit each one. So now imagine that these qualities of love, compassion, wisdom, skillful means appear in front of you in the form of Shakyamuni Buddha. So imagine this Buddha in front of you, in the space in front of you made of radiant, transparent light. He's sitting on a throne, above which is an open lotus flower and cushions of the sun and moon discs. This entire visualization is made of radiant, transparent light. But you're imagining a living being with a light body. So you feel yourself in the presence of the Buddha. The Buddha's body is golden in color. He wears the robes of a monastic. His right hand, with the palm down, rests on his right knee, in the earth-touching mudra. And his left hand is in his lap, holding a bowl of nectar. And this nectar is the medicine to cure our afflictions and all of our hindrances. And the Buddha's face is very beautiful. You can look at the Buddha's eyes. He's smiling, his eyes are smiling. He's looking at you with total acceptance. And as he looks at you, he's also encompassing all sentient beings. The Buddha's eyes are very peaceful, long and narrow. His lips are red and his earlobes are long. Imagine rays of light radiating from every pore of the Buddha's body. This golden light going out to all the parts of the universe, touching beings, carrying miniature Buddhas to help beings. And as they complete their work, they dissolve back into the Buddha. The Buddha is surrounded by the entire lineage of spiritual teachers, all the meditational deities, innumerable other Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Arhats, Dakinis, Dakinis, Dharma protectors. And at the side, near each spiritual mentor, is an elegant table, and on it are Dharma books. And the sounds of the Dharma fill the air. And they're all so happy that we're here doing this together. Imagine their minds just blissful and peaceful, gazing at all sentient beings. So you imagine that actually you are surrounded by all sentient beings in human form. Your mother of this life is on your left. Your father of this life is on your right. Any people you have difficulty with, you imagine in front of you, facing the Buddha, keeping them there for protection. Family and friends are nearby. Countless strangers fill the space around you. And all of us are looking to the Buddha for guidance. So first we need to cultivate a sense of refuge. So we think of all the dangers of cyclic existence. Just think about how things are not secure. We run into dissatisfaction often, dukkha often. And people, all the beings around us, all the sentient beings around us, are also in the same boat, floundering in cyclic existence. And many of them have not met any kind of teachings that will help them out of this quagmire. So we generate compassion. And now think of the wonderful qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and generate this sense of confidence in them, in their ability to guide you out of all of these recurring problems. To take refuge, we need the causes, this kind of concern, this kind of alarm, fear type, and also this confidence and faith, and the compassion. So it is possible, on the basis of your present life and mind, to free yourself from all of these undesirable experiences. So resolve to explore that possibility to the fullest. Feel great trust and confidence in the three jewels, and open your heart to rely upon them to guide you and others from all of these difficulties of cyclic existence, and bring us to the peace, liberation, and full awakening. So as we do these refuge verses, starting here, now we're on the top of page 21, we'll be taking refuge in the Buddha, and we imagine actually leading all of the sentient beings around us and going for refuge. And we visualize white, radiant light flowing from all of the Buddhas, the spiritual mentors, the Bodhisattvas, all of these holy beings flowing into us and all the beings around us. And this light completely purifies all of our destructive karmic imprints and afflictions. And it also brings all the realizations of the path. So put your hands in prayer position. Namo Guruvya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharmaya. Nama Sangaya. 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 So feel that you've come under the protection of the three jewels. And now we turn our thoughts to others and think about how much we depend on other beings for everything that we have, everything we know, everything we use, everything we enjoy. Our food, clothing, resources of every kind. These come due to the efforts of others. Our knowledge, talents, good qualities, these too are developed due to the kindness of others. And our ability to practice the Dharma certainly depends on others who brought the teachings to us over the millennia by generating realizations in their mind and teaching So this is a very great kindness, all of these things we want to bring to mind. Our innermost wish is to be free from suffering. And this is the case for everyone else as well. We want to be happy, and all beings want to be happy. And like us, they encounter many difficulties, problems, sufferings. And usually, actually, their difficulties are more so than our own. Not always, but often. And when we examine our capacity to help beings, we find that we're actually quite limited. And we know from our practice that if we can reduce our anger, our attachment, our ignorance, our various faults, and if we can increase all of our good qualities, we're really going to be in a position to benefit beings. Imagine if we had just this generous heart that gives so easily, takes delight in giving, the kind of ethics that doesn't harm, has that just ingrained fortitude, loving kindness, compassion, wisdom. We'll be in excellent position to help beings by having our good qualities developed. And if we develop them fully, like a Buddha does, then we'll be able to be of the greatest benefit to beings. So we generate this altruistic intention in order to be able to benefit beings most effectively. So as we take refuge and generate bodhicitta, imagine that light is flowing into you from all of these Buddhas and holy beings, and it's flowing into you and all the sentient beings around you. So we're on the top of page 22. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddhas, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create by engaging in generosity and the other far-reaching practices, may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create by engaging in generosity and the other far-reaching practices, may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create by engaging in generosity and the other far-reaching practices, may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. So imagine the Buddha is so pleased with your altruistic intention, and a replica emerges from the Buddha, comes to the crown of your head, melts into golden light, and flows into you. Feel that you and the Buddha have become inseparable. Feel very close to the Buddha and allow your mind to be transformed and inspired. Let go of all conceptions you have about yourself. Let go of any self-denigrating thoughts. Let go of the concept of inherent existence and meditate on emptiness. As Inside your heart appears a small Buddha, made of light. He radiates the light of wisdom and compassion in all directions throughout the entire universe. And this light transforms all sentient beings into Buddhas and all environments into Pure Lands, which are places where all the circumstances are conducive to practicing the Dharma and generating realizations. So imagine this. You've transformed all sentient beings into Buddhas and all environments into Pure Lands in your imagination. But why hasn't this become a reality? We sentient beings have bias, prejudice, we lack love, compassion, and joy. So now we want to wish ourselves and others to have all of these qualities. So we contemplate the four immeasurables. We do this to reinforce our own felt experience of love, compassion, joy, and equanimity for everyone. Friends, strangers, enemies, relatives, people you don't like, people you don't trust, anyone, everyone. So as we say those four immeasurables, you want to listen to yourself say the words and contemplate as you recite. We'll pause between each of the four. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free of suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings not be separated from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment, and anger. So, in order to achieve what we've just been aspiring towards, we need to purify our negativities, and we need a lot of merit. We need to abandon things and adopt things. So when we do the 7-limb prayer, this encompasses all this abandoning and adopting of things. So we'll pause after each line. And you want to have your hands in the prayer position for this. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind. So imagine yourself and all the beings, the sentient beings around you, making prostrations to all the holy beings in front of you in the field of merit, repeatedly prostrating. And present clouds of every type of offering, actual and mentally transformed. So imagine offering everything beautiful to the Buddha and all the holy beings. You can fill the sky with offerings, make it very lovely and beautiful. You can think of flowers and fields and just everything that you love. Offer to all the holy beings. You can do this repeatedly. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginning this time. So now we do like a glance meditation of the 4 opponent powers. So for this, bring to mind something that you wish to purify, some fault or mistake. Bring it clearly to mind and generate regret for that. And then the other Purna powers are taking refuge and generating bodhicitta, which we're doing in the practice. The practice itself will be the remedial action, but make a determination not to do this action again. And rejoice in the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. So think of common sentient beings like ourselves, the holy beings, and delight and rejoice in all of the virtue created by any kind of being. Let go of any jealousy, envy, and just rejoice in the goodness in the world. Use your own life experience. Think of things, people that you want to rejoice. And the next verse. Please remain until cyclic existence ends. So now we offer a double dorje. This symbolizes long life. We offer this to the holy beings. We do this requesting them to live long, to always be a part of our life. And you can do this multiple times in your imagination. And then the next verse. And turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. So again, make this offering. You're offering with both hands this beautiful 1,000-spoke Dharma wheel, golden in color. Offering this to the teachers and the Buddhas to guide you and to continue to teach the Dharma. And then the seventh one. I dedicate all the virtues of myself and others to the Great Awakening. So now we steer these limbs toward full awakening for ourselves and all beings. And now we'll offer the mandala. Here we imagine everything beautiful in the universe, offering it to all the holy beings with the wish that they will continue to teach and guide us and that we can generate realizations in our mind. This ground anointed with perfume, flowers strewn Mount Meru, for land, sun, and moon, imagined as a Buddha land and offered to you. May all beings enjoy this pure land. The objects of attachment, aversion, and ignorance, friends, enemies, and strangers, my body, wealth, and enjoyments, I offer these without any sense of loss. Please accept them with pleasure and inspire me and others to be free from the three poisonous attitudes. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niryatayami. So imagine all the holy beings are just delighted and they receive your offerings. And the offerings melt into light and dissolve into them. And these all absorb into the Buddha's heart. And then immediately he radiates light back to you, filling your body and mind. And this light inspires you to accomplish the path to full awakening. So in order to progress along the path, we need to develop realizations. And in order to do this, we need the inspiration of the lineage of spiritual mentors, especially your principal teacher or your root guru, who is the one who has touched your heart deeply. If you don't have a specific teacher, just think about Shakyamuni Buddha, or maybe you have a connection in your mind with His holiness. And we make this request on page 25. Glorious and precious root guru, sit upon the lotus and moon seat on my crown, guiding me with your great kindness. Bestow upon me the attainments of your body, speech, and mind. And so then, at this point, you imagine that a replica of your teacher in the aspect of the Buddha emerges from the Buddha in front of you. And it comes to sit on a lotus and moon disc on the crown of your head, facing the same direction as you. So then this Buddha on the crown of your head is going to act as an advocate for you to request inspiration from the entire field of merit as we continue with the request. And we're doing the long one on page 26. Buddha, unequal teacher and guide, venerable protector, Maitreya, successor, superior Sangha prophesied by Buddha, to you three Buddhas and Bodhisattvas I make request. Buddha, head of the Shakya clan, the foremost guide, peerless in expounding emptiness, Manjushri, embodiment of the Buddha's complete wisdom, exalted Nagarjuna, best of the superiors who sees the profound meaning. To you three crowning jewels of clear exposition I make request. Atisha, upholder of this great vehicle, who sees the profundity of dependent arising. Drone Rinpoche, elucidator of this good path. To these two ornaments of the world I make request. Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of oblivious compassion. Manjushri, masteress, flawless wisdom. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the snowy land sages. Losangrappa, I make request at your feet. Holder of the white lotus, embodiment of all the conqueror's compassion. Guide benefiting migrating beings in the land of snow mountains and beyond. Sole deity and refuge, Tenzin Gyatso, at your feet I make request. The eyes through whom the vast scriptures are seen. Supreme doors for the fortunate who would cross over to spiritual freedom. Illuminators whose wise means vibrate with compassion. To the entire line of spiritual mentors I make request. So imagine all of the figures in the field of merit melting into light and dissolving into you. Into the central figure of the Buddha in front of you. All the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the Arhats, Dakas, Dakinis, Dharma protectors, all of these beings melt into light and dissolve into the central figure of Shakyamuni Buddha. And now Shakyamuni Buddha embodies the three jewels. And this Buddha absorbs into the Buddha on the crown of your head. And then as we recite the Buddha's mantra, try to let your mind be very open and receptive. Imagine this white light flowing into you from the Buddha on the crown of your head. It purifies all your negativities, all your obscurations, and it generates within you the realizations of the stages of the path. So we'll recite the Buddha's mantra together. Tayata Om Mune Mune Maha Mune Soha. 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 Tayata Om Mune Mune Maha Soha. Tayata Om Mune Mune Maha Mune 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 Soha. Now, re-establish the visualization of Shakyamuni Buddha above the crown of your head, made of golden, transparent, radiant light, a living being. And this Buddha melts into light and dissolves into you. Your body, speech, and mind become inseparable from those of the Buddha. And then we'll make the dedication prayers starting on the page that we're on in the sadhana, which is 27. Due to this merit, may we soon attain the awakened state of Guru Buddha, that we may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. May the precious Bodhi mind, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore.
So that's the meditation on the Buddha. I'm going to put on some philosophy chill step music here in a minute. I have to disturb these cats and pick up the pillows and blanket. Sorry, guys.
Buddha is sitting on a throne.
Try to be gentle about it. So after your meditation, you can massage yourself, your scalp, your ears, face, your neck.
His body
traps and shoulders, pec muscles, lats. Massage your joints, making circles, right? Squeeze your biceps and triceps. Make circles on your elbow. Warm up your joints. Squeeze your forearms. Massage your wrist, your hands. All your fingers. Your palms. And then the other side. Your neck. Your shoulders. Your pecs. Your lats and traps. Biceps and triceps. Right? This is some nice self-care. Massage your elbow. After you meditate, you take time massaging each major muscle group and joint in the body because you've been sitting still for a while. Massage the abdomen clockwise to wake up the digestion. You massage your back, your kidneys. Now is a good time to use a foam roller. You can tap on your back, on your kidneys, right? You massage your hips and your glutes, making circles, squeezing the muscles. In an appropriate way when you're in a class setting, you know. You can squeeze and massage your quads, your hamstrings, rub your knee, run your fingers along the inside and outside of the shin, squeeze your calves, right? Massage your ankle, the soles of the feet, the heel, the toes, and the other leg, right? Glutes, rub the hips, massage the major muscle groups here, the quads on top, the sides. You've got this tibial band that wraps around the tibia from the hip to the knee. Massage your hamstrings, right? Circles on your knee. Run your fingers, your thumbs down the inside and outside of the shin bone. Massage the quads. Rub your ankle, the heel, massage the sole of the foot, and each of the toes. So next I'm gonna pick up these pillows and blanket. I'm going to sweep the room again, and then we'll get into the yoga. You can tell from my voice I've had too much caffeine and not enough water. So I'm gonna chug some water now, probably take a bathroom break before the yoga starts. And I encourage you to do the same. I'm going to put the philosophy step or the philosophy chill step music back on. I'm going to set it to shuffle with some chill music.
All right, at long last, the user interface for reality. Some of these things you're going to say, hey, I've heard about those. First, you must accept.
So get ready for yoga.
At least as a filter. That could be a subjective reality and that you can manipulate it. You should accept that systems work better than goals. People are telling me every day that they implemented systems and changed their life.
You know what time it is, guys?
This
Yep.
is one of the biggest
Excuse me, sir.
buttons on the interface for life. If you don't like where you are and you want to go somewhere else, learn how to build systems for everything from your diet to your career to your social life and talent stacking. The idea that if you're intelligent and add new talents, you become not just a little bit better, but exponentially better because talents really explode your capability and your options. So this impression that it works. And I say that very carefully. Does it work? Do affirmations change reality? I don't know. I don't know. I can tell you that when I've used them, the results I've gotten don't seem like anything could have been natural. I cured an incurable voice problem. I had ridiculous stock market luck when I used the affirmations. My career, as I told you, is just crazy. Use your face, it's your reality. It feels like it works. It feels like it works. It feels like it works. Use your face, it's your reality. It feels like it works, but I'm not going to tell you about it. You see these filters. If it feels like it works, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. If it feels like it works, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Use your face, it's your reality. It feels like it works. It feels like it works. It feels like it works. Use your face, it's your reality. It feels like it works, but I'm not going to tell you about it. See these filters. There's no hope in time.
Okay, so we're pretty much all set up. I'm gonna run to the bathroom and then we'll get the yoga started.
Everything is going to get worse in time. Because as you know, it does. We all fall apart in the end. Everything falls apart. Institutions, buildings, nations. It all crumbles. And people say, well, that's an awfully pessimistic philosophy. Well, is it? Well, is it?
identity, but it doesn't serve me anymore. It would make me happier, it would make me healthier, it would make me accomplish whatever I want to set out to accomplish right now. And so I think you can uncondition yourself, you can untrain yourself. It's just harder. It takes work, it takes effort. Usually the big habit changes come when there's strong desire and motivators attached to them. Habits are good. Habits are good. Habits are good. Habits are good.
Okay, so we're going to get started with the yoga now, and I'm going to open and close with a mantra, which is the traditional mantra for this style of yoga. And the opening mantra basically means thank you to the teachers of the past, present, and future who brought this practice to us from the meditators in the jungle, because this practice helps alleviate the suffering of existence. Om Vande Gurunam Charanaravinda Sandarshita Svatma Sukhava Bodhe Nirshayase Jangalikaya Mane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantiye Abahu Purushakaram Shankasakrasi Dharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shvaitam Pranamami Patanjalim And we'll begin.
We've discussed the web from 3 points of view. As an analogy of the selective operation of our senses and mind, whereby certain things in the world are picked out as significant according to certain game rules. The game that we are playing mostly is the survival game. That is to say, the game ought to go on. Only the way we play the survival game has a kind of element in it which makes it difficult, because we tend to say the first rule of this game is that it's serious. And that messes the whole thing up. So you have to watch out, in other words, when you play, for contradictory game rules. Self-contradictory game rules. Because if you get mixed up into them, the game ceases to be worth the candle. You start straining and doing something, then it just isn't worth it. Then the second thing that we observed was the web as an analogy of mutual interdependence. We could call it the idea that all existence is relative, that all existence is transaction. The transaction being typically exemplified by, say, the operation of buying and selling, in which there can be no buying without somebody selling, and there can be no selling without somebody else buying. That kind of interdependence, of the inside going together with the outside. What is in you going together with what is outside you is absolutely fundamental to business. selfishness, the original hunger. And we found that if you take that point of view to its ultimate extreme, it dissolves. And it isn't so bad after all. Shakespeare says, it is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. When it's put that way, it doesn't seem so bad after all. What is in you going together with what is outside you is absolutely fundamental to existence. It is existence. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. What is in you going together with what is outside you is absolutely fundamental to existence. It is existence. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. I remember that I had a Zen master friend who wrote a letter to a friend of mine which was passed on to me. This friend of mine was aspiring to be a writer, and he was trying to write novels that would put across Buddhism to people. Sugar the pill. And my Zen master friend didn't approve of this at all. He said, don't write any story to people. Write it to the great sky. Because all the real masters of literature, especially novelists and storytellers, are great masters of nonsense. Think of Lewis Carroll. You can use Lewis Carroll, and he did use Alice in Wonderland as a Zen textbook. Truthfully, there's the silly toads, the Gar and Gimble in the way. That's Zen. I had a discussion with a great master in Japan. We were talking about the various people who are working to translate the Zen books into English. He said, that's a waste of time. If you really understand Zen, he said, you could use any book. You could use the Bible. You could use Alice in Wonderland. You could use the dictionary. Because, he said, the sound of the rain needs no translation. 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 Evening rain is the banana leaf that speaks of it first. You see, that's the point. And all the talk in the world doesn't get it unless you listen to the talk in a new way. The sound of the rain needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation.
Akira. He's not cloud. The web of life. Let me try from the first to indicate the point that we're aiming at. The point is this, that human consciousness is at the same time as being a form of awareness and sensitivity and understanding. It's also a form of ignorance. liberation happened today. Today. After 22 years, my plan came together. Today. And that plan was that someday I wanted to be in a position to tell you the thing that I'll tell you today that I couldn't tell you until now. The user interface for reality itself. The user interface for reality itself. So that you can author your own reality. The user interface for reality itself.
I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it is gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. When fear has gone, there will be nothing. dog's young human and look at it. He jerked his hand from the box, stared at it astonished. Not a mark. No sign of agony on the flesh. He held up the hand, turned it, flexed the fingers. Pain, she sniffed. A human can override any nerve in the body. Ever sift sand through a screen? We Bene Gesserit sift people to find the humans. Paul felt that he had been infected with terrible purpose. He did not know yet what the terrible purpose was. Why do you test for humans? To set you free. To set you free. Free. Once, men turned their thinking over to machines in hopes that this would set them free. That only permitted other men and machines to enslave them.
Let me show you my path toward figuring out the user interface.
So this is the Ashtanga Yoga primary, the short version. And I'll end now with the closing mantra, which means thank you or good luck to the leaders who lead with compassion and wisdom. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Peace, peace, perfect peace. Om. Swasti prajabhyaha palipalayantam nayena margena mahimahisha Gauramane palipala shubhamatsya nityam Lokaha samasta sukhino bhavantu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So next we're going to do the martial arts workout, solo drills in the format of a high intensity interval training, which is 30 seconds to a minute of full body cardio, 30 seconds to a minute of legs, 30 seconds to a minute of upper body, 30 seconds to a minute of core, over and over until we've done about 32 minutes. So I encourage you to drink some water, drink some pre-workout or caffeine. I'm gonna roll up this yoga mat, put on some more intense workout music, which is basically a bunch of motivational speeches put to music. And then we'll get started right away. I'll check the time and we'll end in 32 minutes from the beginning time.
It's this fear of discomfort. People have this extreme feeling in their mind when it comes to their associations with exercise. They want to avoid discomfort. They feel like any type of exercise is just like something to be avoided. That's not for me. Fuck that. I don't want to sweat. I don't want to strain. I don't want to sweat. I don't want to strain. A lot of times this association that they have is about the beginnings of getting in shape. It's not about once you're actually fit. It's once you're actually fit and you look forward to it. It feels great. If I can't get a workout in, I look at my schedule and go,
Okay, we're gonna start right away.
for a workout, which means I'm not going to get that good feeling.
We're gonna
Get
sprawl
that good feeling.
from
So
standing
instead of looking at it like, oh, I've got to go grunt
and jump back
I'm
up.
thinking I'm not going to feel good. I'm not going to feel relaxed. I'm not going to feel carefree. Even appreciative. Like my appreciation of things, it gets enhanced greatly after exercise. I just feel better. I want to sweat. I want to strain. 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 Get that good feeling. Get that good feeling. Get that good feeling.
30 seconds, now we're gonna do
Take
takedown shot from
Get
standing.
that good feeling. Get that good feeling. Get that good feeling. It feels great. Most people, their associations are to avoid
Faster.
anything that's uncomfortable. It's so illogical. Discomfort is your friend. It really is. Discomfort, not being happy and content with certain situations in life, they're massive, massive motivators. They're amazing at facilitating change, yet our instinct is to avoid those and just sit on the couch and watch some fucking reality show. It's bizarre.
Okay,
When I get really disciplined and really
we're gonna push up,
with my
do a
workouts,
knee
I
cut
also
guard
feel
pass.
momentum. I feel like there's a push behind me. Like,
I'm
all
hopping
right,
my legs
yeah,
past
now
their
I wanna
legs.
sweat, I want to strain, I want to sweat, I want to strain, I want to sweat.
And then sliding my knee over the thigh.
Get that good feeling. Get that good feeling. I want to sweat. I want to strain. 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 Get that good feeling. Get that good feeling. Get that good feeling. Yeah, now I'm doing it. Yeah, now I'm doing it. I'm doing it all the time now. I'm looking forward to the next time, and it makes that resistance much weaker, and it makes my motivation and my discipline much stronger. I think a lot of it is based on just the consistency. Blowing something off
Record.
is not just bad for you physically,
Let's
it's also
see.
bad mentally, because then that option is now available.
We're gonna do Russian twist.
You did it before, and you're probably going to do it again, and you'll get mediocre results, not just in that aspect of your life, maybe in all aspects of your life. That option to fuck off when you
And then
embrace
put your
it,
legs in the
that's
figure
the
four
pathway
position.
that
And
you
keep
might
going.
choose when it comes to dealing with conflict in your personal life, business decisions, career decisions, like an uncomfortable decision that you might be faced with, what your pathway is
side.
in life, but you don't do it, instead you fuck off. And that inclination to fuck off, that gathers momentum as well. The inclination to be disciplined, that comes with momentum. I think both
And then
things.
straight ahead.
You take a path. I want to sweat. I want to strain. 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 Get that good feeling.
Other side.
Get that good feeling. Get that good feeling. I want to sweat. I want to strain. I want to sweat. I want to strain. I want to sweat. I want to strain. I want to sweat.
Switch
I want to
sides.
strain. I want to sweat. I want to strain. Get that good feeling. Get that good feeling. Get that good feeling. It feels great.
Okay. We're gonna do a break fall from standing. Someone takes you down. You kick. Kick, get back up, protect your chin. Kick, get back up, protect your chin.
You take a path, or the path of the fuck off. Your body is like a race car that you can juice up yourself. Like you can add the fat tire, you can add improved suspension, you can beef up the horsepower of the engine. You can do all that yourself. Or you can just choose.
I'm posting opposite hand and foot,
No one's under the
swinging your kicking leg back.
but you are enhancing the experience that you're currently involved in right now. You are alive, you experience this life, but do you experience this life optimal? Is it enjoyable as it can be? And we all know there's a spectrum for that enjoyability. We've all had times in our life where it's not been so great, and then times in our life everything came together like, what a fucking great day, woo! Great day, woo! Great day, woo! Great day, woo! Make
The
more of
legs.
those. Make more of those. Make more of those. You can make more of those. And then
We're gonna do a leg lock entry from standard. I step between the legs, quarter turn back, and I get down. And I stand up without the hands, step between the legs, quarter turn back, pinch one leg, sit down with it, figure four. You gotta visualize the other person when you're solo training. And I've been sidelined for years at a time doing these on my own. Step into a school and start heel hooking other competitors. Not that I'm better, just that I kept practicing when I couldn't train with other people. Just trying to stay in shape. Okay? For the upper body, from here, we're gonna lift off the ground.
One thing I want to say is,
Figure four.
don't be fooled by the internet. Don't be fooled by the internet.
Switch sides.
It's cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. Cool to use the computer, don't let the computer use you. We all saw the Matrix.
Alright. For core, we're gonna do a hip
We all
bump,
saw the Matrix.
sit up.
There's a war going on with battlefields in the mind.
And this also leads to a Kimura or a guillotine.
The prize is the soul. The prize is the soul. There's a war going on with battlefields in the mind. The prize is the soul. The prize is the soul. The prize is the soul. There's a war going on with battlefields in the mind. The prize is the soul.
Okay.
The prize is the soul.
Sprawls.
The prize is the soul. There's a war going on with battlefields in the mind. The prize is the soul. The prize is the soul. The prize is the soul. Be careful. Be careful.
Upper body, push up. Knee cut pass.
Be careful. Be careful.
For core, we're gonna do that hip bump sit up again. From closed guard. Getting the Kimura grip, getting a guillotine.
I'm sorry. I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible.
I'm sitting up. I bumped them
Gentile,
over.
black man,
If they
white.
take me back down,
We all
I've got
want
the
to help one
Kimura
another.
where I set up the
Human beings are
guillotine
like that. We want to live by each other's happiness,
I'm
not by
kicking
each other's
back.
misery.
to
We don't
follow
want to hate or
through.
despise one another.
It doesn't work.
In this world, there's room for everyone, and the
Come
good
back
man
at the
is rich
guillotine.
and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be
Great
free
fall.
and beautiful,
Stand up.
but we
Full
have lost
body.
the way.
Exercise
Greed
kick.
has poisoned men's
Defend.
souls, has barricaded the world with hate,
Kick.
has goose-stepped us into
Defend.
misery and bloodshed.
Come up
We have
swinging.
developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much, feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of the system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass and dictators die.
Leg
The power
lock,
they took
entry.
from the people will return to the people. So long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers,
Stand.
don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men, with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man,
Stepping in the
not
middle,
one man nor a group of
pinching
men, but in all
the leg,
men, in you.
kneeling down,
You, the people,
and
have the
sitting
power.
back.
The power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure.
Upper body.
Then in the name of democracy,
We're gonna
let us
move
use
around
power.
now.
Let us all unite.
I've got the figure 4 for the heel hook. Legs here. Right? Maybe I need to move or
Let us
lift
fight
up.
for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future, and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to
Other
power,
side.
but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free
Yes.
themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance.
Straight
Let us
ahead.
fight for a world of reason,
In a
a
50-50
world where
position.
science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite.
Try 3 more with your legs and knees. Right? And for core, we're gonna do this Russian twist. Figure forward. Switch sides. Now say you need to pass the leg over to the other side. Lay down, sit up, lay down, sit up. The legs in figure forward. Switch legs.
Everybody's got these stupid barriers they put in their own head. You gotta resist those goddamn things because they don't do you any good, and they certainly define the potential for your future in a negative way. It's
Our
not
body,
observed,
we're gonna sprawl.
and it's not even real. But this idea that there's no way to get past the starting block today is just ludicrous. It's crazy, and it's just this poor thinking. And people that are trapped in bad situations, one of the problems is you feel like this is your future. You feel like you're fucked. You can't get out of it. There's no hope. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's no rainbow. And if you feel like that, that alone can be incredibly demanding and limiting. But if you look at yourself
Shooting for the
objectively and say,
takedown.
I am fucked here. I'm in credit card debt, working in a shitty job, don't like what I'm doing, but I have some ideas. I need to feed those fucking ideas. I need to feed them and water them. I need to set aside a certain amount of time every day. Just try to make those things happen.
Stretch,
Every
shoot.
day. Just try to make those things happen every day. Just try to make those things happen every day. You can do that. Do shit that's difficult every day. Every day. Do shit that's difficult every day. You can do that. Do shit that's
Push
difficult
up,
every
knee
day.
tuck
Every
pass.
day. Do shit that's difficult. It's very important struggle. Look at someone who's doing really well and very famous and successful. All you see is him now, flying around private jets, wearing a new pair of sneakers every day, driving around in Bentleys. You just see that. You don't see him being a young kid in Philadelphia going to open mic nights. There's a progression that you're not witness to. You don't see it. And that takes place in everything. It takes place in office, in comedians and musicians. There is a starting point, and with time and focus, as long as you reevaluate and reassess and constantly
You wanna do that hip bump, sit up.
what you're doing, and then pursue it with passion and focus, you get better at things. There's always going to be people that are luckier than you. Some of it is luck, and some of it is courage. Some of it is putting your ass out there. Some of it is trying to
Visualize the Kimura,
I always like to tell
finishing
people
the hip bump. We're setting up the guillotine.
difficult. It's very important to struggle. Do shit that's difficult every day. Every day. Do shit that's difficult every day. You can do that. Do shit
Watch my
that's
hands.
difficult every day. Every day. Do shit that's difficult. It's very important to struggle. Failure teaches you things that you don't learn from success. I think failure gives you an opportunity for self-examination and also gives you a feeling that is very uncomfortable. And that very uncomfortable feeling helps you grow. And don't look at these failures as proof of that you suck. Look at them as opportunities for growth. And don't look at these failures as proof of that you suck. Look at them as opportunities to be motivated to do better. Do shit that's difficult every day. Every day. Do shit that's difficult every day. You can do that. Do shit that's difficult every day. Every day. Do shit that's difficult. It's very important to struggle. Do
Great
shit
ball.
that's difficult every day. Every day. Do
Kick,
shit that's difficult
post,
every day.
stand,
You can do that. Do shit that's
defend.
difficult every day. Every day. Do shit that's difficult. It's very important to struggle. Life doesn't have enough of that. There's not enough struggle. If you don't get
legs, leg walk entry from standing.
Akira. Good call. It's for the heroes. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not gonna feel perfect every day.
One more.
Gotta be those days you push through. This is what I want you to do. Write down what
Upper body.
you'd like to fix about your life. If you're 30 pounds overweight, you want to lose 30 pounds?
Pushing
Do it the
up.
right way.
From this 50-50
Write down what
or
you need.
inside triangle position.
Exercise every day. Force yourself to do it. The brains in general, the troops of the body, and you get up and you do it. And then
Switch.
you get to write it down. You know, you're doing what you gotta do to get by, but ultimately you're not respecting yourself. I think we all have a certain amount of appreciation and respect for hero figures. We all look at the guy who never lies, always does the right thing, and fucking helps everybody out. And
So try it
the John
with
Wayne
the
character,
lotus.
you know, that's
Or just crossing your
the
legs.
hero. The ultimate hero. You have to be the hero of your own story.
For 4, we're going to do a twist.
You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. And when you look at your own life and you don't stack up, you're a thief.
Switch
You
your
stole
grip
money
every
from
now
a
and
West
then.
person.
Figure
You
for the
don't
leg.
smoke cigarettes, but you fucking have to. You can't deal with the stress and smoke. You devalue yourself. You slowly start devaluing yourself. You look at yourself and you
Sides.
realize that if you were judging yourself, you would judge yourself unfaithfully. You can't pretend you're the hero of your story. Hero.
Now we're going to lay down, pass the leg over,
People get stuck in
sit
these
up,
patterns, find themselves in a person who
pass the
doesn't
leg
follow
over,
through on their
turn the
ideas.
legs back.
Well, I start things and I quit. No, you don't. No, you have started things and you quit. And it gives you a horrible sense of regret that's made you define yourself by that. You're not who you were a year ago. You're not who you were 5 years ago. You're not who you were last week. So you gotta regulate how much you dwell on regrets of the past. You gotta be careful.
Next is stroll.
You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can
1 or 2 more rounds.
You have to be the hero of your own story. You can be the hero of your own story that woke up today. You can be the hero of your own story that at 40 years of age stopped, got out of bed, and said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. And I'm gonna get myself in shape and I'm gonna eat healthy. And I'm gonna do this. Because this is me now. This is me
Leg.
now. I decide that this is me. And people have to realize you are not your past. You are not all the times you fucked up. You're not all the times you were drunk. That's not you. That's not you. You are the person who's learned from a great deal of experience. This is a battle that you will fight for the rest of your life. But the key is to fight it. Not to give in. Don't give in to that resistance. Fight that resistance. And in doing so, every day you do so, you have won the battle for that day. And you will continue to fight that battle. You have to be the hero.
Push up to kneecap pass.
And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that.
hip dump, sweep, sit up, which leads to Kimura and Gaten.
Will set out honeypots for people to get trapped in. The ideas of retirement, the ideas of the golden years, providing you benefits, providing you a healthy work environment. Why? Well, because they want people to work for them. They don't want people to realize their own dreams and escape. They want to set it up so that you stick around in some sort of an unsatisfying world. It's up to you to see that video game problem, see that issue as it comes up on the map, and calculate your future.
All right. One more round. Sprawls.
Be good at a few things that you can control. You can control. You can control. Be good at a few things that you can control. You can control. You can control. Be good at a few things that you can control. You can control. You can control. Find a few things that you can completely control and control them somehow. There's nothing better for your self-esteem than knowing that if you work hard on
Take down
something,
shot.
whatever it is, that you can become one of the good ones. Not the best in the world, but better than other people. But better than other people. But better than other people. And the things that you can control the most are diet, fashion choices, haircut, fitness. You can control the fuck out of those things. You can control the fuck out of those things. Be good at a few things that you can control. You can control. You can control. Be good at a few things that you can control. You can control. You can control. Be good at a few things that you can control.
Push up, kneecap pass.
Find a few things that you can completely control and control them somehow. If you're not good at fashion, find somebody who is. Get some advice. You don't know how to exercise? Find somebody who can. Have them tell you how. Don't know how to eat right? Find somebody who does. Have them tell you how. Find some things that you can completely control and control the fuck out of them. Just control the fuck out of them. Because that's where you get your self-esteem. I'm actually a really good example for this. And I'm going to say something
Hip bump, sit up.
astonishingly lacking humility. I'm a person who's good at a lot of things. A lot of things. If you made a list of things that the press has called me and asked for my expert opinion on, you'd be kind of surprised. It's across economics, business, humor, politics, persuasion. But how many things are there that you could be good at? All of the things that humans can do. It's gigantic, right? It's like millions of things that people can do, and I'm good at almost zero. Like if you took all of my skills and compared it to all the skills that anybody could have in the world, it rounds to zero. It doesn't round even to 1%. And I'm an example of somebody who has pretty high skills in a variety of fields, and it still rounds to zero. Be good at a few things that you can control. You can control. You can control. Be good at a few things that you can control.
Nope. One more round. Great falls.
diet right, I think you're probably pretty good. So, control the things you can control. Get good at them. And remember that nobody's good at much.
For legs, leg lock entry, cooling down now. Okay, upper body, we're gonna push up from this boat pose, right? 50-50 or inside triangle for leg locks. Ten little lifts there, inside triangle on one side. Other side. This is in case you need to move around while working leg locks. And now, just for fun, for depth of motion from the lotus. Okay, and for core, we're gonna twist for the heel hook motion. Ten, and then figure four. Switch sides, switch your grip every now and then. Now we're gonna lay down and pass the leg over, right? And then from figure four, switch the legs. And now, pass the leg over. Send the legs off to the opposite side. The imaginary leg of the opponent, right? You are trapped between your thighs. You're laying down to pass it over you. So you can do an outside heel hook. Your feet are in between their legs, and their leg is extended out. And we'll end there. So these are all techniques related to the techniques of the week, which again is a single leg takedown, guillotine stranglehold from the headlock, Kimura shoulder lock, and a heel hook for the leg. So we did meditation on the Buddha, then we did the short 30-minute version of the Ashtanga Yoga primary series, and then we did a little over 30 minutes of solo drills, wrestling, mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu. There's a group practice tomorrow. Contact me if you want details, but you have to be friendly to the LGBT community because it's always a free class for people who can't afford the expensive schools in town, and for the people who get marginalized from those schools, which are openly or subtly racist or homophobic or bigoted, which most of them in town are. Not all of them, but my favorite school right now I can't go to because it's too expensive. So hopefully I'll get back to where I can train with them and teach you what I learned. And in the meantime, practice at home, build your daily routine, train every day. We're still going every day until the new year, and then 6 days a week from that point on. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.